turns it sideways.
So then what are they saying?
So I put it back. I put it back, and in just a second it'll be right side up. This is about a 10-second lag. You have 48 people joining us. Well, more I'm sure, but 48 are signed in right now. Are we ready? Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for coming to the service. If you have a cell phone, put it into silent mode. And the service will be conducted by Rabbi Sommer.
The act of kriya, or the act of tearing, is as old as biblical times. When a loved one died back then, they would literally tear their clothing and pour ash upon their head. The metaphor has come forward as a ribbon that we wear upon our lapel to let friends and family know that we are in a state of mourning, so that they may approach us with love and comfort. For those of you wearing the mourner's ribbon, you may now tear Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu Melech HaOlam Dayan HaEmet. Blessed are you, O Lord our God, Judge of truth. You may want to go sideways.
Actually, just grab one corner, pull up on just one, keep the other one down.
Yes, I know El Hehari Me'ayin Yavo Ezri Es I know El Hehari Me'ayin Yavo Ezri Me'im Adonai Oseh Shemayim Va'aretz Ezri Me'im Adonai Oseh Shemayim Va'aretz. The psalmist wrote in those words long ago, I lift my eyes to the mountains. What is the source of my help? My help comes from Adonai, maker of heaven and earth. God will not let your foot give way. Your protector will not slumber. See, the protector of Israel neither slumbers nor sleeps. God is your guardian. God is your protection at your right hand. The sun will not strike you by day, nor the moon by night. God will guard you from all harm. God will guard your soul, your going and coming now and forever. Our writings teach us that a woman of strength, beauty, and kindness, who can find? She is more precious than fine gems. Her family loves and depends on her, and so they lack nothing. She does good by them, never harm, all the days of her life. She perceives that her labor is rewarding. Her candle burns on into the night. She reaches out to those in need and extends her hands to everyone. She is clothed in strength and dignity, and she faces the future cheerfully. She speaks with wisdom. The law of kindness is on her lips. Her children rise up and bless her. Her family entire sing her praises. Many daughters have done valiantly, but you excel them all. We live our lives the best we know how. We try to keep family and friends close to create the times that mean the most to us. Beatrice Peilet lived an incredible 93 years. She was a phenomenal daughter, sister, niece, cousin, wife, mother, friend, grandmother, and great-grandmother. Daughter of the late Saul and Fanny of blessed memory. Sister to her overprotective brother Hyman and his wife Phyllis, both of blessed memory. Beloved wife and lifelong partner in crime to Les for over 62 years. Mother to Margot, Andy, and Debbie, David and Lisa, Michael and Karen, Jordan and Nina. And grandmother to Herschel and Rachel, Lucas and Elizabeth, Mari, Holly, Jake, Maya, Carly and Alec. And great-grandmother to Liam and Winnie B. May you remember B for her love and devotion, all the moments she made a difference in your lives, and may her memory always be a blessing. A poet wrote, well, the years have passed and my eyes have seen so much. Time has flowed slowly and quickly, the eternal river that it is. I've watched so many of you go from young to old and wondered how you all could grow so, while I remained so young within this old frame, harboring all of my precious memories and thoughts. Gold are the memories of laughter and celebrations. Diamonds are those moments I watched you all flourish and help bring new life into this world. Beyond precious remain those instants, surrounded by all your noise and tussle, as we lived life to the very edge of amazement. You've allowed me to paint my blessings in colors of brightness and merriment. Shed no tears for my life lived so well. Just remember me with a smile at all we shared. The birds made popular these words of Ecclesiastes when they sang that there is a time for everything and a season for every activity under the heavens. A time to be born and a time to die, a time to plant and a time to uproot, a time to tear down and a time to build, a time to weep and a time to laugh, a time to mourn and a time to dance, a time to scatter stones and a time to gather them, a time to embrace and a time to refrain from embracing, a time to search and a time to give up, a time to keep and a time to throw away, a time to tear and a time to mend, a time to be silent and a time to speak. Now is the time we speak of Bee's incredible life as I invite some of her grandchildren up to say a few words.
You want me to start up? Good.
You know what? Wait 1 minute. Right. Just waiting for the siren to stop.
Best intro ever.
Great timing.
First Tuesday of every month.
Ready to go? So, as you can tell from my superior height and golden bronze, I do not technically fall under the strictest traditional Peilet genealogy. But because of Grandma B and Papa Les, I never knew that. I never felt that one time. Not once. The way that Grandma and Papa embraced me and Mom as a daughter and a grandson is a prime example, although only one of many, about the quality of her character. The real beauty is that she ingrained that in all of us through her example. Whoever needed an aunt, needed a grandmother, needed a friend, she was that person for you. I wonder why so many people call you Uncle Andy, call you Uncle Dave. Maybe it's because you learned from the Queen of how to truly be there for people in a special, meaningful way that very few can. And just like Grandma, she never wanted anything in return. She got her joy from giving joy. I can't remember a birthday or a holiday growing up without a Marshall Fields gift wrap box or without a Valentine's Day package with a pair of socks and a loving note. Instead of doing things for herself, she would much prefer doing it for us, her loved ones. Her famous line that you could always cut the pizza into more pieces and include more people at the table is what we stand for as a family. I know that her example is the reason that we are all so close. She taught us the way of a beautiful life by walking the walk. And because we learned it from her and will pass it down through the generations, her light and legacy will live forever. Now, of course, I would be remiss if I didn't mention Grandma B's favorite guy. I wish I could give him the biggest hug right now. But unfortunately, Uncle Mike could not be here. Because his VW bus broke down in Wyoming someplace. But seriously, Papa, you and Grandma share a love for the ages. Your life together, a storybook. Bea and Les are as famous as any love story that I know. Classic lovebirds. Driving each other maybe a little mashugana, but loving each other that much more. Dear, the tuxedo is intact, you would shout up the stairs when she would question if you were going to be ready for the weekend's upcoming wedding. You two set the standard to all of us about the meaning of family, dedication, dependability, and showed us what a meaningful, lifelong commitment looks like. And I promise that whoever I meet after Rachel, I'm going to have that same type of love and commitment. So, growing up in high school, if there was ever a girl I wanted to impress, no offense, Mom, she's in the car, so she can't. If there was ever a girl I'd want to impress, I would introduce her to Grandma Bea first. I realize there's a rabbi here, but Grandma Bea was a blank magnet. If you ever had somebody to impress, you brought them to Grandma Bea. And of course, Rabbi, to clarify, I was talking about a kosher magnet. But no matter the situation in your life, Bea was the go-to for so many of us. Anytime, just call Grandma. She's got you. She's there for you to listen to you, to counsel you through whatever may be going on in your life. And it was her greatest joy and pleasure to do that for all of us. One of the things that they say about LeBron James in the game of basketball is nobody has been this great, this late, referring to him being in the league for 20 years and being on the All-Star team for 20 years, and no one's ever seen someone be this great, this late. And that made me think of Grandma, referring to this high level of performance for such an extended period of time. So basically, yes, I'm wrapping this up by comparing Beatrice Peilet to LeBron James. They are both unanimous first ballot Hall of Famers that played the game at the highest level for as long as any of us could have hoped or dreamed. She was this great, this late. To spend her time and her life with her one true love and a world-class man and mensch, Les Peilet, the guy with the leather jacket or whatever the heck she saw in you that day.
Rust.
The rust jacket. And for her and Papa to be together for an entire lifetime, to see their kids grow into mostly respectable group that they've become, and then have 6 grandchildren, and then to have 2 great-grandchildren, and Grandma knowing that the newest of her grandchildren, Winnie Bea, was born with her namesake. Well, that's what I would call a BEA beautiful life, and a full and meaningful life. This beautiful life is what Grandma deserved. She was truly worthy, as we would say. We've been beyond blessed to share the countless special times with our sweet Grandma Bea, the woman who brought us all together every week with her famous Sunday brunches, the woman who warned Lucas and I hundreds of times about no hazing in our fraternities, and the woman who repeatedly scolded me for not dressing like an adult. And let's be honest, the woman who would probably be pissed for all of us being out here in this middle of this pandemic. Well, I'm sorry, Grandma, but I didn't really always listen to your rules then, so why would I start now? But I do promise to live by all of the other rules of life that you never had to tell me, because you taught them to me by your everyday example. And with that, I raise a toast and a celebration of one of the greatest women to ever walk this earth. May we continue all to love each other in the way that Grandma B taught us to love each other, and carry her torch throughout our family forever. Thank you.
It's pretty incredible to be loved so much by your grandma and your papa. I know from experience. I'm just so thankful that Grandma lived 92 years, and not only 92 years, but to the absolute fullest, with love every day, laughter, and a zest for life. I have so many incredible memories with her and Papa. Here's to name a few quickly. Dancing together. I never realized how much Grandma and I danced until all these videos recently surfaced. Every time we'd slow dance, she'd always start singing, da da da, like I think you all know she does. She also had wonderful individual dance moves, including, whatever dance move was popular that day, she would always try, including the dab and my favorite, the Harlem Shuffle. She had a great version of the Harlem Shuffle. Giving her the pigskin at every family function. Grandma's got the pigskin, Grandma's got the ball. Playing with the schmaltz, which I told Papa to play with the schmaltz for me last week, which I hope you did, Papa. Buttering my arm, pretending it was corn on the cob, and then eating it. I got a lot more, so hang tight. Taking care of us when we were sick or when our parents were on vacation. Waking us up, singing Rise and Shine, and Give God Your Glory, Glory. Putting notes in our lunches, thinking I can model, truly thinking I could model. Throwing my shirt over my head and giving me back rubs. Laying with me until I'd fall asleep and telling me stories when my dad was a bad boy. Uncle Andy, you were never a bad boy, so you're the good boy. Grandma yelling at Hirsch whenever he'd slap me on the back of the neck. Crowning her the turkey bowl queen and her shedding a tear because she was so happy. Thanks, Elizabeth. Her stories, particularly separating the boys when they were younger and Uncle Andy crying, "But he's my brother." Heard that one a few times. My trip with Grandma and Papa, a week early to Uncle Mike's wedding to Colorado, is particularly special because I had Grandma and Papa all to myself that week. Always wanting me to eat more, which I always did, pushing me to try adventurous foods. Weeknight visits out of college, staying until 11 p.m. or sometimes later on a work night, just because we love spending time together. And we were eating Les's famous ice cream sundaes. Phone calls that would last 40 minutes and could go 40 minutes longer. And the only reason why they ended because I was home and they wanted me to go in and say hi to Elizabeth. Brisket, scrambled eggs, and as Hirsch mentioned, be smart and no hazing. Today I'm really just so incredibly thankful to be 30 years old and just have the beautiful relationship that I did with my grandma that I'll have forever, and my papa. And I know Grandma will always be a part of me. She'll always be in my heart, and she'll always be watching over me. I'm just so thankful for all the incredible memories that I have and that all of you have, and we'll have those for the rest of our lives, and it's a beautiful thing. A guy, I think I said this, but a guy truly couldn't ask for a better grandma, and I know today's about Grandma, but Papa, a guy couldn't truly ask for a better Papa either. I'm so thankful I got to know her so well. She taught me so much and all of us so much. It's really simple. Just love unconditionally, laugh, have fun every day, and enjoy the gift of life. I know she certainly did, and I'm very thankful today that I know she really lived life to the absolute fullest. She was the happiest lady around. So I love you, Grandma. I'll miss you so much, and that is all. Thank you.
Most beautiful grandma to set foot on this earth. You live such an amazing life, and we're able to watch your kids, your grandkids, and your great-grandchildren grow. Without your spunk, positive personality, and zest for life, I believe I could speak for us all. We wouldn't be who we are today. You are and always will remain the queen bee of the Peilet family. I have memories from the time I was just a little girl. I would fake sick just because I knew every time I stayed home from school, Grandma would bring over matzo ball soup and tuna salad from Sunset. Or when Mom and Dad went on vacation, Grams and Pops would always babysit us, and we had the best time, whether it was going to the movies, having ice cream soup, or watching any Disney movie that ever existed. We always had a blast. And not to mention, you Grams and Pops never missed a dance class or a soccer game. You were always on schedule. As I got older, I developed more of a friendship with my grandma, someone who I turned to for advice, someone who taught me how to cook, someone I taught how to take selfies, and someone who stood by my side for the past 26 and a half years and supported me with any decision that I made. Grandma has been the best friend I could have asked for, and I'm so lucky to have Beatrice Peilet as my grandma. I will say, there are plenty of people who wish they could say the same. As we stand here today, we have to remember the amazing life that Grandma lived, and she will continue forever to live on in our daily lives. We love you so much.
I'm going to read Carly Peilet's words. I'm going to read them in a really high voice. No, I'm just kidding. All right. This is from Carly. There is no question that Grandma B was the heart and soul of our family. Adjusting to life without her will be like relearning to breathe or walk. Something we are so used to doing. However, just because she is physically gone does not mean she truly is. She lives on through all of us and the endless amazing memories we have. She taught us all how to love each other unconditionally and showed us the true meaning of family. It's no secret that our family is something special, and I believe we have Grandma to thank for that. She developed a bond so strong with each and every member of the family. That is, has taught us to love and support each other no matter the circumstances. It saddens me to think that I can't shoot her a text and get one of her Bitmojis back as a response, or that next time I can be home with you all, there won't be mini pancakes waiting for me like she had a few months ago. I miss Grandma already, an indescribable amount, but her spirit is so evident in all of us. Her love will not go anywhere as we are sharing her love constantly with each other through all of this. And we all know Papa has enough in him for the both of them. Love you, Carly.
I got one more. From Hallie Peilet. My memories of Grandma B stretch back to when I was very young, and in her small Wilmette kitchen, she taught me the right way to scramble eggs, probably while Carly's mini pancakes were in the microwave. Mari and I used to go into the backyard and hunt for golf balls, and we'd always have cousin sleepovers, which ended with cookies and ice cream soup. I remember when I was little, I would always ask Grandma, how old are you? And her answer was always 39. Her wit, her sharpness, and her ability to hold her liquor all backed that up. I'll never forget interviewing her and Papa for my internship. When at 89 years old, she still could remember Papa was wearing a rust-colored jacket when she, quote-unquote, picked him up. I will miss her offering me holly and butter Ritz crackers, shrimp cocktail at noon, and her always filled M&M dishes. I'll miss her putting things in quotes via text that she shouldn't have, like "my darling Hallie," or when she would have an arthritis episode on her keyboard and send an impossible message to comprehend, followed up by "got to learn more control of the fingers." Wow. She always knew how to laugh at herself and how to laugh in general. She told me laughter was the key to a long marriage, and boy did she and Papa share lots of laughs. I'm so lucky to have grown up with such a beautiful example of love that has made all of us better people. I love you, B, and know you're always with us.
These kids are a hard act to follow. Don't they say don't get in a scene with either a kid or a pet because you look bad? Well, I could do it on my own. Anyhow, these are very strange times, and what's going on today is so not indicative of our family. I don't know that the celebration of my mother's life should be remembered like this. And rest assured, we will all get together when we can hug and squeeze each other and kiss and be who we are. Don't forget that. Don't forget that. We have that coming. Put that on your calendar because it'll happen soon. You know, I could talk about my mother for forever, and you guys have already heard a lot from the people that she has had such an impression on. I just want to share a few things, and you know, I had a great conversation yesterday with Joe Spathis, who I think that I never realized the impact that my mom had on so many people, and she taught lessons whenever she could teach lessons. She would want something to come out of it. She, to this day, when I would talk to her and my dad on the phone, she was an amazing listener and gave great advice that was fitting to today. I used the term contemporary, and she would tell me, "I'm not contemporary. Stop saying I'm contemporary. I'm 92." And you know what? She was so astute. And Joe told me how she helped her being an older parent and raising kids, and you know, the breadth of her knowledge and wisdom just expanded. It went through generations, and people know her so differently across her relationships, and it's really neat to see. You know, as the youngest, I was whiny, and my mom always used to say to me, "Andy, just ask for a glass of water. You don't have to say, 'I want a glass of water.'" This now has got to my nieces and nephews and my kids, so now I get teased about it, thanks to my mom. But, you know, I want to talk about, you know, mom being the go-along girl. Mom had 3 boys. And then you threw in the mix, you had this 2-bedroom apartment on California Avenue with 1 shitter in it, with 1 bathroom. And Margot, Jordy, and 2 dogs are now in the mix. Okay? Not only did the woman not complain, she thrived in those times. Those were what my mom was about. It's that the closeness, and you could never be together enough. Every time it would come time to leave her place, it's don't go. You don't have to go yet. And that's part of who she was. You know, she was Aunt B to everybody. Aunt B, Uncle Les, Aunt B, Uncle Les, Grandma B, Papa Les. She had more nieces and nephews than I think anybody in recorded history, because she always cared. She cared, that's why. She took an interest in not only us, our friends, they're friends. And when somebody looks at you, you know that they care. And my mother had that ability to listen and let you know that she's with you and she wants nothing but the best for you. We used to own a ping pong paddle, and we didn't have a ping pong table. It seemed like it was the only way for Mom to contend with 3 boys. It was her defense. You know, I remember many times Mom chasing David around the kitchen table looking to crack him. And David literally pulling chairs out in front of my mother to try to trip her. And you know what? And she just kept coming. She just kept moving forward. She's relentless. She was persistent. You know, I remember many times of sitting around a Seder table and trying to, you know, me and my brothers just fooling around and giggling, and my dad getting angry that we were disrupting the service, and he would restore order only to have me look at my mother and her having some chewed up matzah in her mouth and putting it on her tongue and going, you know, just to fire me up again. I mean, who does that? Who does that? Unless she was setting me up. My mom used to say when it came to punishing us, you know, we had this conversation not that long ago. I said, Mom, you know, when you grounded us when we were kids, you would ground us for a week, and it would be less than 24 hours, and the punishment would be alleviated. And your response was always the same thing. You would say, I was only punishing myself. So yeah, get out of here. You know, I'll talk about my mom and my dad. You know, she was a wonderful wife. Her and my dad had something super special that really set the stage for their future generations. They loved. They were a real couple. There was mutual respect that I think as a young man and growing up, that's what I noticed more than anything was the respect they had for each other, and they treated each other as such. I often thought that my dad would be lost without her, but you know what? My dad's a soldier. And he will persevere, and he's a super brave man, and capable of everything and anything except, of course, doing a load of laundry. All right, because I don't know if he's done one his entire life. My mom, the kids are what I think make me sad. And my mom became grandma. She was Graham. She was Grammy. And whatever you wanted to call her, she just didn't care. You called her whatever you wanted. She wanted to keep being called. And Hirsch and Rachel, Luke and Elizabeth, Mari, Hallie, the Peach, if you guys might know her as Carly, Maya, Liam, and now Winnie B. The love that she had for you guys was endless. To her dying day. It was all that was important to her. I used to love it when she would talk about the kids. There was everything. And you know what? To my kids, to help them through this, and I've said this to my nieces and my nephews, that you can't hurt unless you really love. So if you are hurting, it's because you opened your heart to Grandma. And Grandma, you trusted her, and she fulfilled everything that you had wished. But you couldn't hurt if you didn't love her. Now, feeling the hurt that you have, You know how much you really love her. Only this hurt will heal. It will get easier. We could be sad. We could be sad now, and it's sad because we all lost something that was cherished and something that was precious. But you guys know Grandma. As soon as we can, we'll turn these tears into laughs and joy and a cocktail, and make her proud.
We try to live the best life possible, surrounded by all the people we love most in the world. Bea did just that all the days of her life. Her family and friends were her blessings and the greatest gift she could ever receive. Andy, you talked about how your mom still gave you advice up until her final days. The memories we leave behind are the priceless gems meant to comfort us when a loved one has died. May you remember Bea and her strength, and for all the moments where she made a difference in your life. May her best always brighten your day, and may her memory always be a blessing, as she was such a blessing in your lives. The poet Merritt Malloy once wrote, "Love doesn't die, people do. So when all that's left of me is love, give me away." We turn together into the pamphlet to read the 23rd Psalm. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He maketh me to lie down in green pastures. He leadeth me beside the still waters. He restoreth my soul. He guideth me in straight paths for his name's sake. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for thou art with me. Thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. Thou preparest the table before me in the presence of mine enemies. Thou hast anointed my head with oil, my cup runneth over. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I shall dwell in the house of the Lord forever. We continue with the memorial prayer, El Malei Rachamim. El Malei Rachamim, Shochen Bamromim, Hamse Menucha Nechona, Tachat Kanfei Hashchina, Im Kedoshim Torim, Kezohar Arakia Masiri, Et Nishmat Brina Bat Shlomo Ufani, Shalachal Olamo, Ba'al Rachamim Yastereha, Beseter Kanafav Lolami, Vitor Vitrachayim Anishmata, Adonai Hu Nachlata, V'tanuach B'Shalom, Amishkavo V'Namar Amen. Compassionate God, eternal Spirit of the universe, grant perfect rest in your sheltering presence to Beatrice Peilet who has entered eternity. O God of mercy, let her find refuge in your eternal presence and in the shadow of your wings, and let her soul be bound up in the bond of everlasting life. God is her inheritance. May she rest in peace, and let us say, Amen. We continue with the mourner's Kaddish. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, v'alma divrach hirotei v'yamlich malchutei, v'chayechon v'yomechon v'chayei d'chol Beit Yisrael, v'gala b'zman kariv v'maru Amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah mevarach le'alam olamei almaya, Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, v'yithadar v'yithaleh v'yithalal shemei d'kurusha barichu, Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, damiram be'oma v'maru, Amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, v'maru, Amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, v'maru, Amen. May God grant peace to all who mourn and comfort to all the bereaved as we say together, Amen.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to lower the casket. Maybe we can put some earth into the grave either with a shovel or with a little pail, but we can't do that because of what's going on at this time. There are some flowers that the family brought that will be able to put into the grave after seeing it. I also have some earth from Israel, which I think the family brought some spoons. I can put a little bit on the spoon and we can put some in.
We pray silently. Ya la 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 la, ya la la la. Olam chesed yivanem. Ya la 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 la, ya la la la. Olam chesed yivanem. Ya la 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 la, ya la la la. Olam chesed yivanem. Ya la 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 la, ya la la la. Olam chesed yivanem. Ya la 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 la, ya la la la. Olam chesed yivanem. Ya la 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 la, ya la la la. Olam chesed yivanem. Ya la 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 la, ya la la la. Olam chesed yivanem. Ya la 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 la, ya la la la.
Ladies and gentlemen, you want to make your way over here to put a flower, some earth in the grave.